Hi, this is a little video I made illustrating the installation of a Turbokool evaporative air cooler for recreational vehicles on a Lesharo H body. Actually it's a Phasar, but I don't think there's any difference. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the Turbokool and you're tired of being hot in summer and thrashing your generator or running around looking for shore power, I highly advise one of these units because they run on 12 volt and they work fantastic in any climate that is under 75% humidity. So anyway, let's take a look at the unit first. There it is. That is a Turbokool evaporative air cooler, and right now it's running on low. The way it works is it cools through evaporative cooling, and which means you have to get water to the thing. And the way I have it hooked up, I have it running through my refrigerator vent that comes up here where it vents the air from the fridge, and I ran a copper line down into the conduit. As you can see, it's very heavily silicone so it doesn't leak. The copper line runs all the way over and then runs to the inside of the unit, which goes to a float which regulates the level of water in the pan. As you can see, I have a 12 volt solar panel which is running into a converter behind the fridge called a Sun Rider, which trickle charges my coach battery, which is a really convenient thing to have if you're going to run something like this continuously on 12 volt. But it's not a prerequisite. You don't really need it, but it's a good thing to have, especially in the desert. Anyway, that's that side of the cooler, and there it is. That's what it looks like. That's the air conditioner standard that comes with it, and this is the evaporative cooler. Okay. As you can see, it had to be shimmed up a little bit on this side to make it level, but that's not a problem. This water line comes down into the conduit where the flue is. Okay? That water line is hooked into a shutoff valve. Well, it's a copper line, and I run it into some 1/4-inch fuel line that is double clamped, and yeah, it's got some plumber's goop on it, Larry. Imagine that. I ran it up over here, runs right under here, and then it runs into the shutoff valve right here, as you can see. There's the shutoff valve. It continues on in 1/4-inch and then runs into a 5/16. I don't know if you can see it back there. Probably not. No, you can't see it. But it runs into a 5/16 T, nylon T right here. You could use brass, but I use nylon. It's double clamped here, and it's double clamped here, it's double clamped everywhere, and I also used plumber's goop again, just to make sure. The line runs down into the demand pump, and basically when the system pressurizes, it's also pressurizing that line down here, and when I hit the turn on the shutoff valve, it sends water up to the pan of the cooler. Here's the cooler, and it's running on low right now. This is what it's like on high, and it's really blowing. Now, you're probably wondering why I just left the exhaust vent open like this. I'm probably going to put some screen on it, but for right now I'm going to leave it open and just see how it works. The reason this can be a problem on H bodies is because this is the grill. This is the grill that came with it. Okay, this is the exhaust grill, and as you can see, because of our pull-out shower, that's just not going to work. Now these switches, the switches to operate the thing, were mounted in the exhaust grill. I had to take them out, and I had to mount them right here on the side. Now, You're probably wondering, why would you mount it in the shower? Well, there was only other two possibilities. One was right here by the door, and I was going to run a conduit up here and run it across. I decided that this plastic is just way too thin to be mounting anything in. It's just like paper. I just had a problem with that. Was afraid it would break. The only other option was to mount some toggle switches on the frame. Now, this switch happens to be a three-way, six-prong switch, and I couldn't find a toggle switch that would work. At least I couldn't find one that had contacts that would accept 14 gauge wire, and that's what they recommend, is using 14 gauge wire. So let me show you what I did electrically for this coach. As you can see, my closet is my head is actually my closet because somebody put a chest of drawers in my closet. So anyway, it works for me. I don't use the shower that often, and when I do, it's not a problem. But hang on. Okay, to pull out the shower, as you can see here, here is the conduit. I'm getting the 12 volt from this light through this conduit. It's running into here, and from here it runs up all the way through here, up into the ceiling, and up into the vent. Okay. I was going to run, obviously, the 12 volt from the existing power supply for the exhaust fan, but I had a little problem with a short, so I decided not to do that. One other thing about mounting this cooler to an H-body that you have to be aware of is that the existing hardware that they give you in the kit doesn't really fit. So I had the hold downs doesn't really fit, so I had to take some pipe clamps and some long bolts with heavy washers holding it through and mount it like that. But it's very solid, and as you can see in the pan, there's actually, you can see there's water in the pan there. So even though I've got the pump off, but and it's blowing really cool air. It's about 70 degrees here in Arizona, and it's probably, I don't know, 55 in this coach. So anyway, that's how I did it. That's how I made it fit. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to stay cool this summer on 12 volts, which makes me real happy because I was tired of thrashing my my generator. Anybody who's interested can contact Bachman Enterprises in Nevada. I highly recommend one of these units if you want to stay cool, because really the air conditioner works okay, but when it's 115 degrees in Arizona, it's just barely okay. I mean, you're not really cool, you're just not overheating. So anyway, that's how I installed my Turbokool on my H-body, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and talk to you later. Bye.